away from Granit Gaming Showcase Finals in Washington. They're gonna bury here to go on to face
Week number 3 of the Caps Gaming Showcase, presented to you by Leidos and powered by Leaguegaming, is underway as we close out 2021 with a big bang. The European division is ready to go. We have a great matchup for you tonight between YMCA Esports and Granit Gaming, and this one should be one for the ages. 2-0 teams ready to square off to go 3-0 before we ring in 2022 and bring on a myriad of great things to come in the coming year for NHL, for esports, and for Caps Gaming. Good evening, hello, and welcome everybody live here in the studio virtually. We are here. I am joined. My name is Nick DeMeo, aka F5 Penguin, alongside my illustrious partner in Brandon, aka bMaJuH, and it is good to be back with you. A little feeling of similarity, if you will, my friend, is it not? It's good to have you here for sure, and I'm excited to have you on. I know you're excited to be in the second chair for today. Lime will be out, but that's okay because we have a lot of hockey in store, don't we? As we work out the technical difficulties there, we're bringing you in here, going to the matchup screen again, YMCA versus Granit Gaming, and this one's going to be good. I'm really excited because some of these players I know quite well. So, you know, I like to see how they shake out in this European division here between these two clubs. Isn't that right, Brandon? This should be a fun one, simply for the fact that we have a couple of, well, some might say, future all-stars afoot, won't we?
Yeah, most definitely. And even just players aside, I think you look at these two teams, and obviously coming into this tournament, you knew about some of the favorites like the Frölundas and the H-Reds and the Havus, but these are two teams that have had success in the past and want to put themselves in that conversation to be contenders for the championship at the end, and both of them have gotten really good starts, starting 2-0 when matching up against each other. I think they see this as an opportunity to maybe cement themselves into potential contendership, Nick.
You talk about starting out. Let's talk about them starting out. The team stats here in front of us. Tell me a little bit more about what you're seeing as far as the tail of the tape is concerned here tonight.
Well, obviously, you look at these two teams, and like we mentioned, 2-0, both teams having success the first 2 weeks of the season. But when you look at just the overall stats and how they've played, I think it's hard not to give a good edge to Granit. You see the 24 goals for, 6 against, and all while doing that a plus 23 shot differential. They have been dominating their opponents in zone time and creating opportunities for themselves, while YMCA not really able to sustain that same success. They've been outshot in their games and also have not really had that big of an advantage at time on attack, but at the end of the day, it's not about how you get them, it's how many, and YMCA have been able to pull out wins and get themselves to this point, so you cannot take these stats too much into this game for granted. You still have to play your game, and you're still playing a very quality team in YMCA, Nick.
Yeah, when we look at Granit Gaming, though, when we talk about special teams, my goodness, near absolutely perfect and flawless when it comes to the power play and the penalty kill, 100% each. And I think if you're YMCA, well, you can't hope for a penalty because that's not going to matter, but you also can't go down a man because Granit will make you pay for that.
Yeah, and I think that goes for YMCA as well because they haven't really taken a lot of penalties. Obviously, they've played 4 or 5 games and they've only taken those 4 penalties, 5 games to be exact, so less than a penalty a game. So I think they're used to being able to stay disciplined, but if they get a little sloppy, Granit will definitely make them pay for that. They are the only team on both the EU and NA side of the tournament to still be at a 100% power play. That is near unprecedented, Nick. So if they give Granit the chances, they will make them pay for that. You know that's a point of emphasis for this YMCA team.
Absolutely. And when you talk about the stats that I love as somebody that loves calling esports, when you have that perfect record, is it going to be the commentator's curse where we called it out and now it's going to be ruined? Or will they continue that momentum going into week 3 here? That should be interesting. I'm curious, though, your thoughts, knowing what we know about EU as the teams are starting to match up here. We'll get you down to rinkside in just a moment. What that shot difference really means. We know shots are at a premium in most EU Division 6's games. How does that shake out for a team like YMCA while you're 2-0, you're down 15 shots against your opponents on average?
I think a lot of it really just comes against, and you have to remember they have played one more game. They played a 3-game series last week, so they do have that one more game. That does kind of skew the numbers a little bit, but I think when you look at it, you have to look at Granit, and you have to see the 2 wingers. Ekin and Antonio, those guys have been absolute monsters for this team. Ekin actually having 10 goals, which is the second most in the league, by the way, so they're going to have their hands full on that right side defensively for YMCA. I think if they can shut down the left side of Granit, it'll help them lead to a little bit of success, but they're also going to have to try to generate some chances for themselves as well. Should be an interesting game. Not really sure what you're going to expect, but I do know this is going to be a great series. Wouldn't be shocked at all if we go to 3 games in there, Nick. Wouldn't want to doubt it.
Well, play has begun. The puck is dropped. It is Granit Gaming versus YMCA Esports going north on your screen. It's the team in black with gold trim, and that's going to be Granit Gaming as we have our first penalty of the game coming up here. Extra man out now for Granit against YMCA in the red and white jerseys going south on your screen. Oh, I thought we'd get a penalty, but no, they're going to wave it off. I thought that was going to be a boarding call. Never mind. Play will continue on here. Opening stages of this contest. Good to be here. Glad to have you alongside us for this action. Twitch.tv/Capitals. Wrist shot there. That's gloved out of the sky, but just off of the glove instead of scooped up and saved. So we'll count it as a save, but it wasn't held on for long. Julius carries it out, got that X factor going. We'll talk more on that later. Good centering pass, back out, looking for a shot in. That one's off a stick. Trying to clear the zone, and they finally will do so here. Skating with it now, D to D. Furion to Lemons. They crisscross applesauce and back out to Ekin. Gives it out to the right D. He'll flip it in. Shallow angle up against the boards, and Trying to recover it is Julius there on the right-hand side. Wrist shot in and scores! Off the broken play from the corner, we have our first goal of week number 3's featured matchup.
We talked about it coming into this game, the shot difference and the goals for Granit, just staying close to the net, giving themselves a chance to make an opportunity. Who else as well but the center, Fapotafla, making the most of his chance there, and I think Granit wanted to start out in this game and get on top early. They do it here, 1-0, just 7 minutes into the first period.
7 minutes is all it took, and the pressure's been on since the beginning, as YMCA is going to have to recover here and answer back. That one's off the boards, banked and cleared out of the zone, picked up. Antonio's got it. The right winger for Granit, intercepted. Angel clearing it out past the blue line, and Granit will recover and try it again. As they come across center, pitched along, and that's going to go offside. So Granit is rumbling, bumbling, stumbling on all cylinders right now, but YMCA looking to rebound here a little bit, Brandon.
Yeah, YMCA kind of stumbling here the first 10 minutes. Granit coming out and playing the way they are. They really seem like they've got things clicking. They outscored their opponent in week 2, Rex Direction, 18-3. So continuing that momentum they saw in the first week, and now they keep it going here, Nick. They just had 2 good opportunities right there. Good saves, however, from bMaJuH to keep it alive. And another one, Nick.
Broken play there. And that one skirts through the legs of Supreeks. I don't know what happened, as we were going to call out the amazing opportunities up in the top of your screen. Coming back the other way, Angel Kuru gets credited with the goal as that bounced off of the half boards and into the net. So we have a tie game here. 1-1 with about 8:30 to go here in the first period. This best of 3 contest tonight. Centerman goes back to pick it up. So we got a clean game again. Tied back up, this time at 1 as Ekin clears the zone. And that was unfortunate to see. And when you talk about broken goals in NHL, unfortunate plays do happen. We see them in traditional sports and esports. We see them everywhere. So I can't be too surprised, but now if you're Granit, you've got to go back to the well and grab another one. Good kneel down in front. Angel, good shot there, saved. And YMCA starting to cook now off that momentum shift. 4:50 to go here in the first period. Centering pass, looking for the right, left side there, right side, backhand chance off the rebound, and he scores. Lehman with the goal here, and now we're back to a 1-goal lead for Granit Gaming.
And it's almost prophetic, Nick. You talked about the broken goals and things of that nature, but you don't get those chances if you don't put the puck on net and give yourself an opportunity to get a scoring chance. Both of these goals have been really up close to the goalie here in bMaJuH for YMCA, and Granit just doing a good job getting those shots on, getting themselves opportunities. If you want those chances, you have to be in the right position and put yourself in the position to get those plays. Granit doing a great job of that right now. Maybe not the prettiest plays in the world, but they don't say how, they say how many, and Granit with a 2-1 lead now because of it.
2 minutes here in the first period. 2-1 Granit Gaming. They've got the puck in the zone again. And try to bring it back in one more time. Last minute here, breakaway chance, Antonio, and a good chance there. Poke check free on the back-checking defenseman in YMCA. Second opportunity, trying the backhand wrap-around chance, and that's going to miss its mark as that one got deflected in front. Coming back around, Saukello was looking for a lane in, couldn't get there, and that's going to do it at the end of 1. 3 goals, 2 for Granit Gaming, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, and for Granit Gaming, you have to really be happy with how you started out that first period. Didn't take them too long to get on the scoreboard. Scored 7 minutes into this game, and obviously YMCA able to find a response there with what was a somewhat broken play. near the middle of the first period. But overall for Granite, how can you not be happy? You have the 6 shots on net, you hold your opponent to just 37 seconds of time on attack, really just continuing what they've done really throughout this tournament. They had the time of possession difference, they had the shot difference coming into this game, and that was a little bit of a concern for YMCA. So now you see how they respond. You get that first period under you. How do you adjust to a high-quality competitor in Granite to get yourself an opportunity to tie this game up?
As we look at the replays here, that play the puck goes into the net, and whether it's a weird bounce or a weird carom, I mean, they count either way. So second period action here, as YMCA is going to look to get one more to tie it back up, and if they can generate some offense, that might happen, as that shot went wide from the center area. Fapa found the stick of Ekin, and Ekin almost buries it home. An unfortunate opportunity there to not get that 2-goal lead when the opportunity presented itself. As play will continue on. Good chance there in the opening stages of the second period. Pass over at center, intercepted. It's going to be pushed along. Fapa's got it. Backhand pass. And we're going D to D back up the ice. YMCA in the full trap. That time it worked. Picked up and along. Angel's got the goal there that was credited to him. Back around the net. Leaving one for his right winger, and a chance there. Oh, it's loose still in front. Back out to the point. D to D. Back in. Down low. Shot goes wide. Delayed penalty upon us here. Shot in and finally touched up. We got a penalty here. Our first one of the game.
And this is a huge chance for YMCA. They look a little bit more settled in here the first few minutes of the second period. That's the first time that we've really been able to see them sustain a cycle and get themselves some opportunities. Now with the extra man advantage, we'll see if they can pot one in and tie this 2-2. Could be a big chance to get some momentum for YMCA.
As we'll get another stoppage here. It's almost like that didn't even happen. A good face-off win, but then smothered up by Thunborg. And he's looking stellar tonight, save that weird mishap, as Ekin will clear the puck down the ice. Man advantage upon us here for YMCA, who needs a goal here to get back into this game and tie it up. Plenty of time, of course, but when you're down by one with one goal, not being as a result of your own action, you want to make sure you get another one. Shorthanded chance, chopped along. And Rimpe scoops it up. Angel shot blocked. Fapa recovers, and that's out to Eklund. Ekin moving up the right side, leveled off the puck at the half boards, and one more rush here on the power play. That's going to go offside. So looking okay on the power play here, Brandon, but nothing to count for it, at least not right now.
Yeah, I think you see some promising things there. They get the cycle going a little bit, continue what they had before the power play started. They had a good patience there as well. A lot of it going from the two defensemen, and Rimpe and Julius just not able to really get any true scoring opportunities. And now Granite able to counter and get some chance in YMCA's zone. We'll see if they can get out and maybe try to get something going for them here as they able to tie this game up.
Shot in, doesn't make it through. Second chance, that's poked off the stick. And that was shaken loose. Sakelo now with it. Tried the centering feed up to his left defenseman there, but Furion will take it instead. Off the half board in their own defensive end. That's moved along for Antonio. Antonio up the right side to the right D, who's up in on the play now. Back along the boards behind the goalie Benna. We've seen two go by him so far in this contest. JM. With the puck shot in, Furion blocks it, kick save, and that keeps it out of the net for right now. Behind the net, they're working now. YMCA starting to show some signs of life here. As that one's thrown in offside, they'll recover Will Granite and move it out of their end. That one's plunged through, but offside there as they could not keep it on. 6:17 to go here in the second.
YMCA, and you said it, they're starting to show signs the more this game goes on. You almost feel like as the more the game goes, the more comfortable that they get. Maybe just having to shake off the rust a little bit, obviously, not playing for a minute. We'll see if they can capitalize and get a goal here, but you're seeing some signs to say that they can, and now a potential power play opportunity to go with it, Nick.
Thunborg was way slip-slidey there, trying to keep that puck out of the net. He did so, but at what cost? A penalty here, a trip, as players were flipping over each other there, but another power play opportunity going to YMCA Gaming as they have to capitalize here. Face off to the left of Thunborg. One there by YMCA. Back in down low, looking for that 1-2 high-low play. Almost worked there as Rimpe will take it in across the blue line and try one more time. He's up at his D point. That was the right D. Back to center point. Slap shot in. Good angle. Good shot. And a great save by Thunborg.
What a beautiful cycle there from YMCA. That is probably the best opportunity they have in Granite's zone so far. Really on either power play. Expect to see much more of that here in the next 1 minute and 20 seconds.
They're just feeding it to the middle, right to the doorstep in front of the goalie for Granit Gaming. But haven't connected so far. 45 to go here. Oh, way to keep that in the zone, though, as everybody was onside except the one with the puck. That almost trickled out, but they were able to keep it in. Got a shot off as a result of that. Puck is still in the zone. Poke checked off the right side and cleared. That's going to be thrown back out. Benno's just going to play it along. Sakella moving along. Now it's back in the zone again. Kuru just kind of dances it in front of the net. And that was saved gingerly, but a wraparound chance trickled behind the backside of Thunborg, and that almost went in. Play still in the defensive end for Granit Gaming. They can't get it out. Antonio takes a hit on the left side boards. Furian's got it. Furian holding, looking for a lane out. The forecheck is high and pressured right now for YMCA as they're chomping at the bit to try to tie this game before we go into the locker room. We move along here. Antonio. Now Ekin. Antonio. They've got it. Lost it. Still trying to recover. 5 seconds. Half board working from the corner in front. Chance in. Wrist shot doesn't get on. And that's going to do it. So no goals scored here in the second period, but a lot of action as it's still 2-1 for Granit Gaming.
And while the first period, I believe, went to Granite, I think it's hard to say that YMCA, despite not being able to find that tying goal, they were definitely the better team in that second period. And the thing that I felt made the difference was something that you alluded to, Nick, the forecheck. They were absolutely relentless on Granite's breakout, not allowing really any opportunities for Granite to set up in the zone, not even really allowing them a lot in the neutral zone either, so not letting Granite get that zone time and get those opportunities, something that we talked about them being so good at coming to this game. You have to credit YMCA, and if they keep playing the way they did in that second period, hard to believe that they won't find that second goal to tie this game up. Now we see how Granite will decide to adjust. Should be a really fun third period for two different teams trying to adjust strategies on the fly as this game goes on.
Period number 3 about to get underway here. We'll see who takes game number 1 in this best of 3 for this Caps Gaming Showcase week number 3. The EU
period number 3 here.
We go offside there. 1857, as I was saying there, as the play went offside. This is the Caps Gaming Showcase, presented to you by Leidos, powered by Leaguegaming. Nick DeMeo, Brandon Bigsby alongside with you for this action. And this afternoon showing for those on the East Coast stateside. The evening showing for those across the pond that we welcome in for the biggest Caps Gaming Showcase we've had so far. That's a good chance, and a good slap shot there. Might have made it through to the goalie, but it was maybe blocked in front as well, as everybody's collapsing on the puck right now. Right side corner now, working out of it. Who will come up with it? That's going to be Granit Gaming, as that errant pass will go all the way down the ice for an icing. 16:23 here in the third, and they could not connect on that pass coming out of the zone.
Yeah, and that's going to be big. YMCA now getting a chance to set up in the offensive zone. Watch out for that high-to-low play. They did it that one time and couldn't connect on it. We'll see if they go for it again.
Lots of speed up the left side now. Now they're going to lay it off. Furian's coming in down low. Back to Ekin, trying that set play around the net, maybe looking for the backdoor give and go, but JM will take it on the right side now. Angel Kuru He's got the only goal for YMCA so far in this contest. JM off the post. Furian spinning around with it. Still loose. Sokello, Angel in front. Chance there. Furian's going to take it out instead. It's shoved along and intended for Antonio. Drop pass poked in front, and Rimpe will take it instead, not falling for that drop pass chance. As he runs, no, that's going to be another penalty here. So Granit Gaming taking their third consecutive penalty. Goalie's coming off the ice. Extra attacker is on. Banked along the boards, but offside. So a crucial moment here for YMCA to tie it up here with about 11:56 to go in regulation time.
Yes, and Granite giving them opportunities. The one thing Granite really did struggle with in the first 2 weeks was taking penalties. They took 10 of them coming into this game. Obviously, they were able to kill off of them off, but YMCA, if you give them enough chances, they will capitalize, and they're heating up, and they scored there, Nick.
A huge goal here to tie this game up off the set play from the face-off. That left winger makes this game 2-2, a laser beating Thunborg.
It was exactly what I was just alluding to. If you give YMCA enough chances, they will make you pay. They've gotten better and better as this game has gone on, and granted, just playing with fire a little bit too much, unfortunately. And the first power play goal against Granite this year goes to Ekin of YMCA, and we have a new game here, Nick.
A brand new game indeed. I think Lime would have said, if my coach said if I knew we were going to be here, we would have started here. So I don't know how it goes. Either way, 6v6 hockey is upon us here. We're tied up under 10 minutes to go here in the third period. Shot in there, and that one's coming off the pad, but scooped up by Thunborg. He's not going to let that one get by.
Man, you can just feel it with YMCA here, Nick, can't you? Just the turn of the tides. This is like a completely different team from what we saw in the first 20 minutes.
Starting to heat up here. D-to-D pass blocked by the right winger in Antonio. Up to Ekin. Ekin left side, spinning through a Jecker. It's got past the defenseman, maybe two. Fapa, we haven't heard from him since the first period. Can he have some late game heroics here? Furian, left point, circling, back in down low. Ekin Antonio, back on the give and go, around the net now. Right side, Julius will take it up the left side. That's stolen by Fury, and he's going to keep it in the zone. Wrist shot there, loose. Good save there by Benna. Rimpe looking for JM, can't connect. Furian will take it instead. Once more up the left side. Rounded around. And held for now. Looking for a lane. Short flip, cross ice, and intended for what looked to be Ekin or Antonio, but nobody went to get it, so that's going to be for YMCA to try their offensive opportunity, but intercepted instead by Fapa. Under 5 to go here in the third. Slap shot around. The Omaha's on. Got Ekin there behind the net. Looking for a lane. Can't get the shot off. He's going to wheel it around the outside. Shot in off the iron. That might have tipped off the stick of Antonio. Still tied here at 2. Time's winding down. 210 seconds there as we approach the 2-minute marker. Ekin behind the net. Antonio up Fapa. Fapa, Furian shot there. Good save. That might have been blocked in front before it made its way to Benna. Don't know. But we now are wearing down and coming down to the wire of the final seconds in regulation of game number 1. This best of 3 between these two clubs. Flipped in again. The speed was on, but they're offside. They got to touch up as Fapa was on it, looking to get into that puck, but was one step too fast. Angel will carry it in, fights off the checker and Ekin. Centering feed finds Ekin's stick instead as that got bumped and knocked along in front of the net. Slot area is dangerous right now for YMCA. Under half a minute to play here in this period. Will we see overtime or will we see a game winner come late? Angel's on the floor, has got to get up here. Sorry, that was Julius instead. Behind the net, looking for a lane. Sokello finds a feed in front. That's going to be intercepted nicely and smartly by Lehman. They've got it along the board now. Fed in to Antonio. Trying to find someone to give it to. He will in Ekin. Back to Antonio. In front chance, and that one just went wide. An effort there by Ekin. One more chance. JM intercepts, and we will naturally see overtime.
And how fitting is it, Nick? It feels like every series we've covered in the first 2, now 3 weeks of the Caps Gaming Showcase has had some overtime in it. We have been treated to some great extra hockey. And how about the way the tides have turned in this game? It seemed like at the beginning, Granit just had everything going. The zone time, the chances, the shots. It felt like they were going to come in and really establish their game. But just like that, YMCA flipping the switch, playing well, forechecking, getting themselves opportunities, and that third penalty that Granit took, YMCA able to capitalize right off the stick of JM to tie this thing 2-2. This is going to be a really fun overtime period here, Nick. Can't wait.
I can't wait either. This is exciting so far. It's been a lot of action in a surprising fashion. As we're under OT now, next goal will win. Game number 1 of this best of 3. YMCA is cooking up now. Pressure in on the offensive zone. As Julius in down low. Sakello's got it. Lost it just briefly, had it. Tried to generate something for his team as Antonio took it back the other way. And Furian's going to lay that off. As they try to look for a way into the zone, they will. Fapa back out. Lehman's got it. Bumped off of it. Tried to poke check it in. Still in the zone, though. Antonio's got it from the right point. Right point circling. Fapa in front looking for Ekin. That's picked off. As Julius will take it out for his team now. Quick passes is the name of the game right now for these two clubs, as one of them needs to put one back behind these two goalies and take game number 1 in this series. Swiss format, wins matter, the series matters more. Ekin driving a lane there, and JM will take it instead. 2-on-2 back down the ice. Angel Guru looking for a lane. That's JM's target, but that's going to be instead stolen by the team in black, Granit Gaming, who was in control at the early stages of this game, but the tide has turned as you play with fire too long, as Brandon alluded to, and bad things will happen as it happens here. Granit Gaming draws a penalty, and we have a crucial power play opportunity, their first one of the night.
And now the question is, can Granit make up for the power play goal they allowed earlier to tie this game? They get a chance to make up for that and get a power play goal of their own to win this game. Watch the play from the lefty to the left wing here.
As that pass came out of the zone offside, 12:14 to go, as the left winger and the left D did not look in sync there. So play will come out to neutral ice. Minute 30 left on this power play. Furian waits. Fapa now back to Furian. Toe drags. They're in the zone. Can they set up and get a shot on net? We'll see here. Furian back in front. Chance! Still loose! As Furian was there for the one-timer. Couldn't get it off. Puck never made it to his stick. 45 to go here on the power play. He's circling. Everybody in YMCA is collapsing as Julius will throw it along the boards and clear it, as that was twisted along and all the way down the ice. Potentially one last chance here for Granit Gaming to try to get one on the man advantage. Spin around one man up to 2. Fapa, Antonio. Penalty expired. Looking for someone on the right side. That was Ekin. Puck never made it to him. Right point now. Lehman with a shot there, and that's a good save by Benna. Fapa still got it in down low. He's holding for now. Pushed up against the boards. He'll kick it along to Antonio. Antonio back in for Fapa. Can he get there? No. He'll rub off instead. The man holding the puck right there in Sakello. He lost it, and that one trickles all the way back out to center. A bunch of people racing for the puck. Skaters coming to it. Rimpe shot in, gloved out of the sky, but fell to the front. That was Lehman who was able to keep that one out of harm's way for now. 7:30 to go here in the overtime period. Antonio. That puck was poked free. Kuru's got it. And Julius will scoop it up instead. They'll slow things down and try again. Angel chipped it up to himself. 2 men there to cancel out that attempt for Furian to move it out of the ice and out of the zone. That time he got it. Antonio, quick pass back out to the right D. He'll carry it through center, through the blue line. He's in the zone, but not for long as it comes back out. Great defense coming in on the puck. And all people to the puck carrier at this point in this game. Cannot give up the next goal, of course. As we're in the overtime stages. Good slap shot in front. Rimpe takes it instead, and that was a laser intended for Ekin on the Omaha play. Rimpe there, right time, right place, as they couldn't get on the same page for that pass, and that comes all the way down the edge of the ice. Now we're slapping it down the other way. Icing warning, shot in, he scores! Sakello takes it the other way on the Omaha, back for YMCA, and they come out of the woodwork here to take this game in overtime and fight back to win it 3-2.
And how about that, Nick, after we saw a solid 5 minutes to 10 minutes where it was either all for Granit or it was all in the neutral zone, just in the flip of a switch, the Omaha play from, I believe it was Rimpe, slapping it up, and Sakellos just jetting up the ice to get that. We saw Granit try that a few times earlier. We hadn't seen it from YMCA, and they get it on the conversion to win game 1 in overtime. And how about that? From 2-0 down to an overtime win to go up 1-0 in this series. Have to feel great if you are YMCA going into game 2.
Yeah, you've got to feel great as we look at some of the replays here. Turnabout is fair play as we see the chat. Uno reverse card could not be more right. As what an amazing performance by YMCA to claw their way seemingly back into the game from a weird play off the boards. That was really what did it for them as we look at the scoreline here and the stats. Pretty even across the board except for Granit putting on a huge offensive showing early on in that game.
Yeah, and something that's interesting, you saw the time on attack there at the end of the game, and Granit had well over 3 minutes of time on attack after the first period. So if you just consider periods 2, 3, and overtime, really the stats for these two teams were really about even, and YMCA actually had more shots in those 2.5 periods after the first. They had only 1 shot in the first period to Granit 6. It ended up being 9 shots for YMCA compared to 11 in the game total. So YMCA really able to adjust and step up there in the second period through overtime, and it really showed, getting them the win.
Yeah, it really did. And that's a team in a circumstance where you don't give up. I've seen too many times in esports, especially for NHL, where a team will go down 2 or feel like they're just out of it. And there's just a feeling of, whether it be surrendering or just a feeling of hopelessness, the team stops playing. And that was not the case here, as we saw YMCA continue to push the needle, look for the weakness, take advantage of it. And a lot of that just came from chaos from the left and the right of the slot area, just firing shots in and hoping that something happens. And it made Granit Gaming kind of change the way they had to receive those pucks, coming off the boards, coming off from the corners, from down low, looking for lanes in. And as we see the scoreline get posted 3-2, YMCA takes game 1, and they just got to win 1 more to take the series.
Yeah, and you kind of alluded to it. I mean, YMCA, you have to remember, even though these are not two teams that were necessarily on the top of picks to win this tournament, these are 2 of the better teams on the European side of the pond. Both of these teams have been here before, and they've played meaningful games. YMCA knows how to win. They know what it takes. 2-0 to them in 1 period. They know that's something they can come back from. And now if you're Granit, after playing so well in that first period, has to be a little bit of a letdown. Now you have to make sure that you can respond and get back game 2, because that 1 game means nothing if they can go in and win game 2 and game 3. So both of these teams, still with everything ahead of them, should be a really interesting game 2. Don't be surprised if Granit comes out really aggressive when to make up for that first game.
Offensively powered is Granit Gaming too, as we are watching their locker room set up for this next match, as they are matched up right now. And, you know, playmakers and puck-moving defensemen, that's the name of the game right now for a lot of the meta of NHL esports, specifically in the EU. But they're not changing. They're not leaving. And while it may be fun to stay at the YMCA for right now, Granit is not taking this opportunity for granted, as they will look to win 2 back-to-back here as the teams have matched up, and we're going to get underway game 2. What does Granit have to do? It just seems like maybe all they needed to do was keep the pressure on, and they did not do that.
I think a lot of it comes down to responding to that YMCA forecheck. They were relentless on that forecheck, Nick. After that first period, we weren't really seeing it. It felt like they were kind of laying back a little bit in the first period, not being as aggressive. But once YMCA started pushing up to that blue line, making Granit have to do things a second or two quicker on the breakout than maybe they would like, they weren't really able to break past the neutral zone or really even sustain anything in the offensive zone. You kind of alluded to it. It's fun to stay at the YMCA, and Granit's going to want to stay in the YMCA zone as that's where they have been their best. Now we'll see if they can adjust to that forecheck YMCA has had and try to do what they did in that first period. Otherwise, YMCA might be able to replicate what they did between those last 2 or 3 periods. Should be fun to see how Granit adjusts.
The jerseys may have changed. The teams stay the same as you see the score lines start to filter in courtesy of the stat system we have here, powered by Leaguegaming for this Caps Gaming Showcase, presented to you by Leidos. Granit now going to be in the white jerseys with the gold pants and trim. YMCA in the red and black dark jerseys going south on your screen. YMCA taking game number 1 here. Trying to make this a 2-0. Take the series and go 3-0 before we ring in the new year. Pushed along the boards. That's going to be worked up the right side now. Rimpe is going to leave it back now for Julius. They got forecheck going back the other way for Granit now, as they've started to turn on the Jets a little bit here. Ekin's going to take it in the zone. Antonio, now Furion, left side, coming in from the circle down to the corner. Behind the net, checked off the puck, but Fapa's got it instead. Now Furion, shot there, good save by bMaJuH right in the breadbasket, but the pressure was on for a bit for Granit Gaming.
We said it here in the opening of this game. How will Granit adjust to try to make sure they can stay in the YMCA zone? Looks like they're really ramping up that forecheck. Going to be interesting to see if they continue to do that.
That shot gets off of a knee of a down defender. Keeps it away from the goalie for now, who's made a stellar save so far early on here in the first period, as that shot off the back of the basically off the backboards behind the net popped out to the front as we go offside here. So YMCA just trying to get past that first line of defenders for Granit right now.
Yeah, and with YMCA, you know they obviously had a lot of success on that forecheck in the last 2 periods, and in the first period of that last game, a lot of it came from them not being able to break the neutral zone when they were setting up. They were even struggling a little bit on that overtime to break in just naturally through the neutral zone. It was on the Omaha play that they scored the goal, and they were just able to outpass Granit for a goal there. So it's going to be something to watch here for YMCA. We'll see if they continue to forecheck, or if they'll go back kind of to laying back a little bit and stay towards that defensive game. Angels
trying to work through 4 defenders right now, halfway gone through the first period, still scoreless. 1 or 2 scoring opportunities so far, but no goals yet. Quick passes up the ice. Finds the stick of bMaJuH from a misplaced pass there. Rimpe trying to clear it out for his team. Can't do it, offside. So with YMCA taking game number 1, they're looking pretty good here through 11 minutes of period number 1 here in game number 2. Face-off draw, 1 back. Sakello has got it. Moving in front of his net. And a weird pass there will just be icing. So couldn't make anything of it. They'll throw it down the ice and we'll do it again. Yeah, and something you alluded to, both of these teams pretty even so far throughout the first period. Not really just a long stretch of opportunities for either one of these two sides. Going to be interesting to see who the first team is to break things open. Could be huge as this game goes on. It's a huge save there by bMaJuH. Big save by bMaJuH. That was a tip off a stick as he ripped it out of the sky. We'll get a draw here in the defensive end to bMaJuH's right, as the aggressive offense face-off formation is upon us. Push win. That's Julius just going to take it down the ice. 2-on-1 if they hurry. That's broken up with an outstretched stick by Lehman. And we'll go offside there. 7:22 as a first period that was fast and now has slowed down a bit will come to center ice. And we'll take another draw in front of the bench for Granit Gaming. Face-off draw. Push win again, won by Ekin this time, as they're not going to let Julius do it a second time in a row. As they understood the assignment. Antonio, right side, can't get in the zone. He'll come back out. Fapa will take it, circling and wheeling. Slowing it down now. They try to find a lane in. Can't do it. Right now, Granit's being suffocated at the blue line from the great trap by their counterpart European club in YMCA. Julius, left point, down circle here, Angel. Wheeling it around, back out Julius, who's down low. Feeding it up for JM. Now Julius, chance in front. Fapa's got it. And he'll alleviate the pressure for now. Quick deke move didn't work. We'll go Fury, and slap shot hits two bodies in front. Sakello's the one with it on his stick now as he bounces it off the boards to himself. Rimpe instead now. And that pass also can't find its intended receiver. The team's here having to go to work for a bit to try to get things in order, get things in sync, and not leave it in the back street, as these boys are feeling a little bit of pressure now and temperature as it's 98 degrees in this opportunity there, as that was a chance at the doorstep for bMaJuH. He was able to keep it out of the red line behind his body. Keep this game tied at 0, at least for now. Under 15 to go here in the first period. Real time 10 seconds to conclude it. As we're under 5 now. Still in the zone. Shot in. Good kick saved by Thunborg. Second chance doesn't get through. Angel's got it on his stick, but it won't matter, as we've had maybe 5 or 6 great scoring opportunities, great saves by the goalies, and no score on the scoreline.
Yeah, both Thunborg and bMaJuH, the stories of this first period so far. Both teams are honestly playing probably about as evenly as we've seen throughout the 4 periods that we have had so far. You saw Granit get a couple of really quick opportunities early on bMaJuH. A huge save there, as you saw there, as well as the high glove tip save that we saw from bMaJuH earlier as well. But overall, these two teams playing rather evenly so far. Granit putting more shots on net than YMCA for the zone time that they've had, but that's not something that's really shocking. We talked about in the opening today that Granit loves to get the puck on net and maximize their opportunities, while YMCA actually a little behind on the shot difference, a minus 15 shot differential coming into this game. So you're kind of seeing the first 2 weeks of play and how that shaped out really come in to this game and how these two teams are playing. Really going to be interested to see how this second period goes. The first goal could be a big one. Looks like we're heading for a slow, strategic defensive game, Nick.
Broadcaster's curse might be upon us at that point. I know how it happens before, but a good hit right now. Fapa looking for a lane, couldn't get the shot off, as for YMCA, the low shot total, low scoring opportunities might be the thing that works in their favor. Angel with the toe drag, instead stolen by Lehman. Now Angel again. He's all over the ice right now, which is great to see from the centerman for YMCA, who will get the first marker of game number 2 in this best of 3 Caps Gaming Showcase, presented to you by Leidos, powered by Leaguegaming, offside 16:40 here in the second period. Face-off in the neutral zone. As a result of that face-off, puck is dropped, one cleanly back by YMCA. That was JM's pass for Angel, who won that face-off. But it was stolen instead. Antonio, a battle of neutral zone play right now. Who's going to break first? Wrapped around the boards, intended and up for Sakello. He's got it. Cross ice pass, Angel. Angel fires it along. Picked up in the corner by JM. Left point, center point now, Rimpe. Angel, shot in, good save there by Thunborg, still in the zone. Now can they get it out? Can Granit? Ekin will move it out, and he will. Antonio's got it up for Furion. Antonio, still in the zone. Good keep there by Lehman. In front, that trickled all the way to bMaJuH, as Ekin tried to fire one off the back of the cage instead. Another cross ice pass, JM found that time. Toe drag, got it through with a little nice dangle around his marker in Lehman, as it was behind the net, but not for long, as it's cleared out by Granit. Fast moving second period so far. Fapa with a chance, and that's a good defensive effort by Julius. He just pushed him aside, kept the puck to bMaJuH's left, and that one did not make its way on net. Looking for a shot here in the second period is Granit, as they're starting to build up a little bit of momentum. That one tipped up in front and scores! Antonio with the tip goal and a beauty off the iron.
We saw them set up for that tip a few times here in that first period. It's not something they really did in game one. We saw Frölunda have a lot of success with it last week. Eki at the right wing, being in front of the net, giving himself opportunities to get tips and rebounds and things of that nature. Didn't see a lot of that from Granit in game one. Maybe one of those adjustments we talked about here before the game happening. Granit getting in front of the net, Antonio with the tip, and they open up the scoring here in the second period. A potential huge goal for Granit as they're down 1-0 in this series.
Makes you wonder if the best teams are the ones that adjust or just play their game better. So far, Granit responding nicely to what happened through about 30 minutes of in-game hockey after they took that 1-goal lead early on in the first period of game number 1. Now they're in the lead here in game number 2 as they fire one up the ice. We're going to have an icing here as that one looked for Antonio breaking through the center. He was streaking, but couldn't wrangle that one in. Face off back down the ice. Thunborg's left side. Push win. That one's won by Fury, and he'll take it along. Hold up at the boards. Fighting for it. Out comes Fapa with the puck instead. Antonio sidesteps, can't get through his checker. He's got it instead now here. Backhand chance. Good save from the poke check by Benna. Julius looking to clear it. He will. Puck will come down all the way. No icing as it might have bounced off of a player. Play will continue. 5:20 to go here in the second period. Fapa. Stopping in the neutral ice area. Antonio right side looking for a lane. Found it! And he scores! That's a great goal from a great pass. It's 2-0.
How about that? You mentioned the passing. Granit's forwards, they've been one of the better passing trios in the league so far. 4 of their players entered this game in the top 10 in the entire tournament in assists, and they're displaying the quick, beautiful passing and the chemistry on a play like that. Really the first time in the minute we've seen one of those cross-crease plays from Granit since the first period of game 1. Has to be encouraging for them to get that through, but remember, a little deja vu here. They were up 2-0 in game 1, so the job not anywhere close to done. YMCA has already shown they are able to respond. We'll see if they can do it here for a second time.
If they get one here, it can definitely turn the tide. Momentum swinging for Granit right now. Plays pushed along, still in the zone. YMCA on the attack. Left point, Julius. Center point, Rimpe. Right side, JM. Shot in front, rebound chance! Good save there by Thunborg as he came across the ice to make another save. Still in the zone though, YMCA going to work here, Stuckello. Now Julius back on the give and go down low. Behind the net here, 1 minute left in the second period. Shot there, saved by Thunborg yet again. 3 great saves here in just a short amount of time for the team in red. As they're trying to go back down the ice, they will. 3 wide, Angel. Backhand chance, tried to get it past his checker and Furion. Couldn't do so. Counterattacked, one last effort. Ekin offside. And a huge flurry of opportunities, but Thunborg for Granit Gaming standing on his head, Brandon.
And Thunborg with arguably the biggest saves we've seen in both of these games there. Those were 2 or 3 really good opportunities for YMCA. If they get that goal, it's a 1-goal game going into the third period, and they saw that same situation in game 1. If Granit is able to come in and score this third goal or hold on to keep this 2-0, remember the flurry of saves that you just saw on your screen by Thunborg. Absolutely gigantic play from your goalie when you need him.
Huge save there as you saw the replay. Granit pouring on some more shots there in the second period. And goes into the locker room at the end of 2. Up by 2. It's 2-0 as we look at the replay. That shot I think was tipped. As it was, yeah, way to hold B there as the joke meta is. We look at it again. Oh, that's the other goal, sorry. And that was the quick little force in front, found the stick of his teammate, and that one works. I mean, again, get it to the front of the net. Good things can happen, especially when puck bounces the way it does. Third period now underway. As we'll see if we'll get a game 3 or more heroics from YMCA as they've got to claw their way back out of a 2-goal deficit now. with the pressure mounting for that team. Quick passes. Can't find a way through. YMCA will go back to retreat. Short pass up, Rimpe. That's met at the blue line, turned around. Speed now, Antonio. Antonio looking for Ekin, can't find him. Pushed off the puck was Angel. Julius will recover it off the boards, and Sakelo trying to get it out of the zone. Fell back to Julius, he will. By help of Rimpe, as they've crossed up a couple of players there. That one's lobbed across the ice. Picked up now, YMCA, left point, left circle, down low. Back up top, couldn't connect on the give and go. As that wasn't a record skip, but rather a quick succession of passes. JM will try the right side instead. In the corner, trying to bait in one of the defenders. They're not moving. Rimpe again with it. Now JM. And that's intercepted free up for Antonio. Out now, Ekin. Ekin spun, but lost it. And Rimpe takes it back down the ice. Just trying to blaze past his defender, and he does. Back around the puck, is trickling across the boards. Still in the zone for YMCA. 8 gone so far here in the third period. Down by 2 they are. Looking to get shots on right now. Granit keeping everything to the outside as Antonio tried a chance there. Good defense by Julius. Julius and Rimpe really standing out here defensively for their team when they need it the most, which is right now. As now Granit will work it around the outside. They've got it, left circle. Pass along, looking to shove it in short side. Fapa can't get there. As, oh man, Sakelo's crushed by Ekin. He's got it on his stick. Now Fapa, right side. Center point, slap shot in there, hits a man. That was Julius, who made that block. Keeping this thing 2-0 for now. That puck did not make it on its way to the net. It was blocked instead. Can they do it a second time? No, instead Julius will recover it from behind his net. That was rescued along, retrieved, and wound along the right side. It's tossed on net, loose in front. That's going to be underneath. Thunborg, he's got it. And a dangerous chance there as that puck just kind of trickled, squirted, and sat underneath the goalie.
Yeah, now as time starts to tick here in this game, it's starting to get late for YMCA. You know, they're a team that's kind of valued the quality of opportunities over the quantity. They're going to have to probably change that a little bit with less time being on the clock as this thing goes on. They're going to have to really focus on getting some shots on net here and creating more opportunities for themselves. As Granted, up by 2, they're just going to try to hold the possession game here, something they're good at.
Tried to fire a couple down low. It worked, but none got past the keeper in Thunborg, who's looked great so far through about 55 in-game minutes of game number 2. That shot on, bounced off of Fury and loose in front and scooped up by the team in white and gold. Fury and chance saved there by Benna. 3 left here in regulation of period number 3, game number 2. Will we see a game 3? The scores should come in shortly from these games that are played around the league. We'll have updates for you as they do. 2-on-1 chance here, maybe 3-on-1. Fapa, Ekin, can't get the shot on. That one's blocked instead. Down to under 1:20 here as the defense goes back to pick up that puck. Sakelo, can he get there? No, Ekin's got it instead. Good poke check on Hell. Shot in, good save by Thunborg. Under a minute here. Right side, Antonio. Up now, Ekin with speed. He's got it. Looking for the insurance marker. Can't get there. Poke checked off to the left side now. Fapa spins around a would-be defender. Shot does find Antonio. Thrown out there by Benna. 35 to go here. Rimpe, right side. Angel now. Sakelo. Sakelo left up for Julius up top. Found in down low. Wrist shot. That was rebounded. Still on. Rimpe, center point. Sakelo, wrist shot. Hit his own man there in the centerman and Angel, and that was unfortunate to see as we're under 15 now. And this might be a game 3. Rimpe, last-ditch effort, just can't get it going. So that's going to do it. So yeah, Thunborg stands on his head and might be considered the star of this game as Granit forces a game 3 and takes game number 2 2-0.
Yeah, and I think that Thunberg, I think he has to be star number one for this game, right? Maybe he doesn't have to make the big 15 to 20 save game that you would see from most goalies with a first star, but his saves very, very timely. YMCA, they were able to get themselves a few opportunities a few different times in the second and third periods, but Thunberg making those timely saves when his team needed them, the goaltender stepped up and did his job to the highest of calibers, and Thunberg takes his team as well with 2 goals from his forwards up to a game 3. And how fitting, Nick. It feels like this should be a 3-game series with how these two teams have been back and forth and back and forth. So fitting to see this go to an extra game.
Absolutely. And man, I kind of expected this from Granite with the way they played in the first period of game number 1, coming back to make it happen again here in game number 2 when it mattered the most. They made it happen, and that was a clean game, no penalties there, and that might have also been a bit of a momentum shift for Granite as they faced 3 penalties in a period of game number 1, Brandon.
Yeah, not a single penalty from either side in that game. It was nothing but pure 5-on-5 hockey with the 2 goalies in front of the net, and Granite was just able to get those quality opportunities and take advantage of them. You look at every stat there on your screen, everything from shots to hits to minutes of time on attack, even 7 shots for both teams, 7 hits for both teams, a little bit over 5 minutes of TOA for both teams. So about as even as you get, but Thunberg able to make those saves at really timely moments. Whenever YMCA was able to get chances to probably strike, Thunberg was always in front of it. And that is no slight on bMaJuH. He made some great saves to keep YMCA in that game, but just showing how well the goaltending was for Granite in that game, as well as being able to make some of those opportunities happen for themselves. A well-deserved victory for Granite. Now you shift your focus to game 3. It's all or nothing. Game 1 and game 2, they mean nothing now.
It's almost like when you hit a game 3, just like a game 7, it doesn't matter what the stats were before. It doesn't matter what happened in the previous 2 games. Everything gets changed a little bit for a deciding game in a series. And that's kind of the case here, even though it is week 3 of the regular season. And for the most part, all the teams here are going to get into the playoffs. You're fighting for those buys, though. And you want to go 3-0, 4-0, 5-0. You want to rack up those series wins so you can get a bye, because once you hit playoff time, all bets are off. Anything can happen in the playoffs. We've seen it here on this channel before. So why not put yourself in the best position to walk away with a victory and secure that bye so you don't have to worry about that Cinderella story in the first round of the playoffs, right?
Yeah, exactly. And as hard as it is to believe, we're a third through the regular season. This is week 3, and those wins, they mean a little bit more in the games, and the competition get a little bit thicker as each week passes by. If this is the difference between being a top 4 seed and a top 8 seed, you look back on this game, you're like, man, if only we could have had that one. And, you know, neither of these two sides that are in contention for those bye weeks, they don't want to be looking back on that schedule like, man, if we just would have beaten Granite, or if we just would have beaten YMCA in week 3. They know what this game means for both of these two sides. And like you alluded to, game 3, just a little bit of a different feel and a different style. We saw it last week with Frölunda and IQ. IQ got thoroughly outplayed in game 2 after winning game 1, and in game 3 they came out and looked like a completely different team. Gonna be really fun to see how these two sides look with how differently the 2 games went.
What does YMCA need to do here in game number 3? They had some success reeling off that weird goal and then the couple of penalties that didn't result in a power play goal for them, but they did have some penalties to build some momentum. Game number 2, a little bit quiet for them as the teams match up here. What do they need to do? Who needs to step up for the team there with YMCA?
A lot of it is in that first game. Even if they only did go 1 for 3 on that power play, they weren't getting a lot of offensive zone time and opportunities before they had that odd man advantage where it was 5-on-4, and even though you aren't always able to score on power plays, just able to get that cycle going, get a few shots on net, just get that momentum starting to roll, and they were able to do that on those power plays. Granit didn't give them that opportunity in game 2, so I think a lot of it comes down to really establishing yourself in the offensive zone on the 5-on-5 and getting yourselves opportunities. We talked about earlier the difference between playing your game better or being able to adjust. YMCA, a quality over quantity team when it comes to the shots on net, but you might have to switch it up a little bit and maybe get a few tips in there, a few dirty goals. We saw the first goal of the game for Granit was a tip where Antonio just went in front of the net, they threw it on, and it went in. So you might have to see a little bit of an adjustment from the YMCA side. We'll see how they do that as Game 3 is underway, Nick, and this is going to be a doozy.
Game 3 underway. We're excited to be here with you. Caps Gaming Showcase presented to you by Leidos, powered by Leaguegaming right here on twitch.tv/capitals. Nick DeMeo, Brandon Bigsby, game number 3, and this will decide who wins and takes this series and goes 3-0. A battle of 2-0 teams here as YMCA now in the white and red again, and Granit Gaming not going with their dark jerseys, going with the alternate jerseys here as they're looking to not replicate the game 1 outcome here to take this series 2-1, come back from a 1-0 deficit. As they go north on your screen in those gold and black jerseys with the black pants and the black trim. JM up the right side. That's intended out for Sakelo. Wraparound chance and a good save by Thunborg as YMCA starting to cook up here. Traffic in front. And another shot on. Bounced off the defender in Layman's. And we got an icing. So YMCA coming out of the gate with fire.
Yeah, and that's something we didn't really see from them much in that game other than a couple of different flurries of opportunity. YMCA, you can see this game, it means a lot to them as they're really coming out firing here in the first 6.5 minutes.
You know what I'm going to say here as play moves along. The boards here picked up by JM. Left corner, left point, center point, give and go. Shot in, traffic in front, and he scores! Angel Kuru breaks open the scoring early on in the first period, and it's 1-0 for YMCA.
And Nick, isn't it so fitting? We talked about before this game, how will YMCA adjust? One of the ways they can do so is just trying to get bodies in front, giving themselves chances on tips and rebounds. You see, they set up for it right there. Angel gets in front, gets himself a position to get the stick on it, and YMCA breaks open on this game for the first time. It was Granit that had the first goal in both games. We'll see if this changes the way that this game flows compared to the first two.
As Granit looking to respond here, stolen by Antonio, forced in front. Ekin chance there, pushed aside by Benna. Is it still in the zone, still in danger? Fapa, Ekin, for a lane, can't find it. Coming to it is Furion, and out with it is Rimpe, as the critically acclaimed and Hall of Fame Grammy-nominated producer and rapper Lil Jon said, the answer to all of your questions will always be shots, 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 shots. Everybody. As Granit now has it, center point, right side, looking for Antonio. No, he'll wheel it off instead. Will Layman's looking for a lane instead up front, trying to get there, and tracking it down is Benna. He will cover it up in the white paint, and we'll get a draw.
Now, after that first goal from YMCA, I think that the way that Granit wants to play their game really comes into key now. We know that they thrive on time of possessions and shots on net. Now we get to see how they react to that down. They've yet to be down at all in this series during regulation. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play with the score being ahead of them rather than them having that advantage here. Going to be fun to see how they adjust, and don't be shocked if YMCA tries to push that forecheck.
Forecheck might step up, as you mentioned here, as they've got the first goal of the game. And they're in control right now. Granit looking to recover. Under 5 to go here in the first period. That one's rattled along the boards. Off the lob, chipped in. Intercepted by Angel. Dangerous chance here. JM one-on-one. with Furion. 2-on-1 chance. Furion stick there, breaking up the 2-on-1 pass. Sakella was waiting at the backside door. That one's slow to get to Antonio. He'll get it anyway. Fapa taking a huge hit. Lost that puck on the steal. Angel's got it now. Stop and go. Shot in and scores! It's 2-0 YMCA.
Man, and how about YMCA? They look like a totally different team here from what we saw in game 2. A beautiful play there using that LT move that is so notorious in the NHL community. Finds this man open, and now the tides turn on the YMCA side. Isn't that fitting for how much we've seen that in this series?
You almost got to look for that LT stop and go when you hit that circle, as the crashing trailer will always be there on the cross crease, and if you can feed him, you'll get there. And while that goal didn't happen in the last minute, it's pretty close to it, as it's 2-0 YMCA now. All gas, no brakes for them. Wraparound chance off the back of the pad, but Thunborg makes that save. Last-ditch effort. Here we go. Shot and scores! Lehman, the right defender, with 0.8 seconds, brings this back to a 1-goal deficit for his club in Granite.
And isn't that exactly what the doctor ordered for Granite? Couldn't have come at a bigger or better time. Down 2-0, the momentum reeling a little bit. And how about Lehman's stepping up? We've seen it as a theme throughout the first 3 weeks. Defensemen being willing to step up in the offensive play to create an opportunity for their team. Lehman's shows that there, comes in, gets the breakaway, and beats the goalie there on that forehand, backhand. A huge, possibly game-changing goal for Granite to make this a 2-1 game at the end of the first. As you can see there, the replays of this first period, 3 huge goals. YMCA starting out with the 2 goals, the big tip from from Angel to open the scoring, and then the big play on the cross crease for the second goal, and the breakaway from Granite to make this a 2-1 game. Interestingly enough, YMCA outshooting Granite in this first period. Not something that we've seen really at all in this game. Granite being down in the shots. Only 2 total shots for them in that first period. Very uncharacteristic for them. Do not be surprised if that number begins to tally up as this game goes on. Very uncharacteristic for them to only have the lone 2 shots, with one of them being the breakaway there.
Yeah, talk about not giving up. 5 seconds left. They drive the ice and make this a 1-goal game instead of a 2-goal game, which is just a big difference at the start of a period. You got 0.8 seconds left. You throw the shot on net. You beat Benna, who's looked pretty good so far. And now you only have to be down by 1 to start the next 40 minutes of virtual hockey here on the ice. At least for in-game time, rather, in the regulation periods. Nevertheless, we're here, 2-1 YMCA after they poured it on, even though they were outshot. And Granite looking to continue what they built upon in the 20th minute of period number 1 as we go offside here. That's got to be stunning, Brandon, to play so well in the first period and then just give up a little bit of a lapse in judgment or something like that with just a milliseconds left in the first.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with YMCA. It's not something that they had in the first 2 games where they were able to have a lead, not necessarily be comfortable, but just not to have to catch up from being behind. Finally able to have that advantage and to just have it squandered so quickly. Obviously, you still have the 1-goal lead, but just not that same level of wiggle room you have with a 2-0 lead if you enter the second period with it. So, going to be interesting for YMCA. Going to have to stay on your P's and Q's and not let that happen again. Granted, taking advantage of the defensive mistake there from YMCA.
YMCA looking to build upon their lead. Granite looking to build upon their momentum to cut into the lead and make it tied up again. Tipped in front, chance by YMCA. Second effort, good save by Thunborg. As Furion trying to get this out of the zone. Wrist shot there. That was almost out of position by the goalkeeper. So he stays with it. Keeps the puck out of his net for now. Antonio Now up the right side. Ekin. Stolen by Antonio again. Ekin has got it. Shot in. Back in front for Lemons. And Benna makes the save as it's really starting to pick up here for Team Granite.
Yeah, you can feel that momentum really turning again. Granite starting to establish their game the more that this goes on. Kind of like YMCA did game 1, where Granite kind of took advantage of things the first 10 minutes, and then as the game continued to go on, you saw YMCA start to control the play a little bit more. Granite now doing that in game 3. YMCA, you know they're going to really want to respond and get a goal here. Otherwise, Granite could really turn this game on its head, Nick. Going to be a big next goal here for whoever scores it.
Next goal is going to be huge, especially if it comes later on in this period. So Ekin tried to center it to the centerman, lost it. That's going to be shot along the ice. We get an icing. 8:03 to go here in the second. As both teams really looking to get this next one. See who takes game number 3 and wins this series, goes on to be 3-0. As you look at the leaderboard there, Ekin, 10 goals on the season so far. In this Caps Gaming Showcase, presented to you by Leidos, powered by Leaguegaming. YMCA now. Sakello dumps it in down low. Stolen and kept away from the men in red and white right now. It's by Lemons, who's got the goal there. In the first period, he made that one happen as late as it could possibly be. 0.8 seconds to go in that period. Made this one 2-1 late on. That's lobbed along. Entangling it from the corner. Out with it, Ekin. Ekin and Furion exchanging yet again. Wraparound chance, second effort, rebound chance. And Benna will get the whistle.
YMCA, something that really turned the momentum in that first game for them was their ability to succeed on the forward check. Seems like Granite's really able to get into the zone a lot easier than they were earlier on in the series. Wouldn't be surprised if YMCA really looks to ramp up that forward check a little bit. Obviously, you don't want to have happen what you had earlier in this game with the big breakaway, but nevertheless, YMCA gonna have to adjust. You can feel the momentum of this game turning.
Couple of shots there almost found their way in. Defensively, Lehman stepping up in a big way here. Center point now. Rimpe shot there, tipped, went wide. YMCA cooking right now. In front, traffic, rebound chance. And now comes with it is Fapa. Fapa laying it out for Furion. Trying to bring this one back into the offensive zone for their club. Final 5 seconds here, coming up now. Kept in the zone. Will danger strike twice. Furion, backhand chance goes wide. Fapa with the second effort, 11, and oh my goodness! That one almost found the back of the net, so the heroics were ceased to exist there. We did not see lightning strike twice, and going into the locker room at the end of 2, no goal scored in the second period. It's 2-1 YMCA.
How about Benna? Huge saves at the end of that period, and isn't that a little bit of deja vu, Nick? We saw something really similar on the other side from Dunborg, who made multiple big saves at the end of the second period last game en route to them winning. Benna, maybe some shades of it himself saying, hey, I can backstop my team when they need me as well, because that very easily could have turned into a 2-2 game.
Yeah.
Benna, if they win this game, that might be a huge reason why right there, that sequence.
I don't think he lets that happen twice to him in the final seconds of a period. I don't think you can, as a top-rated goalie, do that and expect your club to be okay with it. You have to make those saves, especially with seconds remaining. It's you and the goalie, and he made about 3 of them back-to-back, but can he make some here? Ekin with a good save there was Benna again. Slapped around now. Up going for it is JM. Can he get there? He can. But now they've got players behind. Back checkers there. And it's moved out by Ekin. So YMCA just trying everything to get one more past Thunborg and past the defense in Lemons and Furion. So far they've been unsuccessful after 2 in the opening period of game number 3. Granit trying to get their legs under them as they charge this one along the left side now. Spinning with it, left off at the face-off dot, and recovered by Fappa. Furion, left point. Driving in to get some space. He'll peel it back out. Antonio, right side wraparound. Chance up to Benna. And Benna, tracking the puck down from behind the net, will hang on for a draw.
Something really interesting there on that little sequence. Rempe was kneeling down there for YMCA, maybe trying to avoid those tip shots. There's a chance there for Granit, but something to look for. It looks like they're trying to avoid those opportunities in front of them. That's something Granit has really capitalized on in this 2 games. Watch out for that defensively here for YMCA as they try to hold on with 12 plus minutes to go in the third.
And now the shots are being pelted upon Benna in the defense for YMCA. Julius trying to alleviate that pressure for now. Loose puck off the back of the skate. Kicked in, but the ref waves it off. So the pressure mounted. It was closing in. The defense cracked. The puck was going, but the ref waves it off. I don't think this one's going to count. No, it won't.
Nope. Could have been goalie interference as well. Not really a lot of chance there for Thunberg to really be able to make that save. So going to stay 2-1, and understandably so. You know, granted, they have a nice collective sigh of relief after that one.
YMCA chomping at the bit now to try to get one more. They almost had that there from Julius streaking down the ice. And here we go, still 2-1 at the middle stages of the last frame of regulation. Ekin, left side, Furion. Furion driving in. Nice little dangle in front. The shot there from Antonio hits Furion and almost was destined for the back of the net. And now we have a delay, a penalty, and a boarding call. So now we got a power play.
And that is the worst possible time for Granit to have that penalty. You're finally getting some chances. You're down by 1. They did so well in that second game not taking penalties. It was a huge reason they won. Now YMCA gets a chance to not only get a chance to make this 1-2 goal game, but you have to keep in mind that clock, Nick. This game not getting any longer until Granit finds a way to score and doesn't let YMCA score. That time, not their friend, and that's 2 less minutes that Granit is going to have opportunity to tie this game.
And it's the centerman for Granit Gaming out in the box now. 2 minutes for boarding, which could be dangerous if they get another offensive face-off opportunity for YMCA. That pass off the boards for Rimpe. Rimpe down low, JM, back up Rimpe, right point, right circle. JM, exchanging passes, shot in, tipped in front. And Furion, that puck bounced off of him, still in the zone. Dangerous here, Angel trying to get that one out to center, can't get there. Defensively, behind the net, Furion will flip it along. And that's threaded out through for Ekin. Ekin's got it shorthanded. Penalty time will expire. So YMCA could not get the power play goal. This could be a huge shift as we approach the 6-minute marker of the third period for these two teams. Left side, Sakelo will dump it in, kind of kicked it off his skate. Mouth of the goal, saw that puck trickle past it and skirted along and poke checked free. So they'll go back and start again. Slap shot is up. Can they get past their man? No, that was Julius blocking it with his whole body. JM now dangles around, glove saved by Thunberg.
Man, and we saw Benna make big saves earlier at the end of the second period for YMCA. Now Thunberg comes up with a potential game-saving save for his Granit side. And now with the timeout, you have to get the feeling that with this game already being at a pretty fast pace, especially considering how the first 2 games went, Granit really gonna ramp that up. Expect the shots and the opportunities to come aplenty. Gonna try to maximize their opportunities and their amount of opportunities here with just a little bit over 3.5 minutes to go and the series on the line. Can YMCA hold on, or will Granit respond?
We will know in a couple of minutes here. The conclusion of this game is that shot was ready to beat Thunberg, and he blew across the mouth of the goal to make that save. 3:26 here in the third. We're going to do one more faceoff. That was a huge save by Thunberg. Might have been the game-saving save if Granit can turn this around. They've got it again. Set play. Back in front. Furion will clear it. Furion not going to let that one happen this time. Antonio, right side. Fapa. Shot. Can't get it off. Ekin. Left side now. Behind the net. Working with it. Slowing things down. Back in front. And a sprawling bMaJuH. The shot doesn't make it to him. Under 1:20 to go here in the third period. A real-time 1 minute to conclude this hockey game of regulation hockey. Will we see overtime? Will we see a winner in YMCA? Sakello, one-time chance out for JM. That's stolen by Antonio. Streaking up there was Lehman. Got the 1 goal so far late in the first period. Looking for maybe another, but it couldn't happen there. As they'll reset and rebound themselves. Trying to make this happen to tie it. Fapa, right side, kneeling in front, dangerous chance. Antonio with a shot there by Levin, can't get through. Second shot blocked by Fapa. So the shots are coming in, but they're not getting on net right now. Under 20 here, still kept in, beautiful. Lehman's down low, pushed off the puck, fighting for it behind the net. Rimpe gonna flip it along, it's gonna carry him off the board and back down the ice to the left circle in the defensive end for Granit. But YMCA, hungry like sharks to slow things down. Empty net here, 4 seconds. Ekin through the middle, looking for a lane. Backhand shit that was off the rebound and saved, and that's gonna do it. So a crazy amount of plays happening at the end of the game. Going back the other way, YMCA takes the penalty. Ekin drives the net, kick saved by bMaJuH, and it doesn't go in. Your winners of the series and of this game, YMCA Esports.
And granted, they had their chances there in the last minute and a half and just couldn't get past bMaJuH and the YMCA defense. Some beautiful positioning there. They had their chances. I was going to actually mention, too, YMCA going to have to stay composed on the breakout because you knew Granit was going to be full force attacking on that forecheck, excuse me. But YMCA staying where they need to be defensively, not letting Granit get any clear-cut looks in front of bMaJuH. And bMaJuH, the shots that did get to him, made the best of them and made big saves. That 92% save percentage, well earned. Great games from both goalies. And YMCA with a big series win here in Game 3. Wow, Nick.
Wow, indeed, as I don't think anybody expected that kind of play. I mean, on paper, pretty evenly matched. We looked at the shot difference and we said, okay, YMCA on paper might actually be an underdog, but this could also potentially be their Achilles heel. But no, they came out swinging, and while they were reeling a couple of times, they showed that they could rebound when it mattered the most. They made it happen there. And a couple of big saves, really my stick taps to both goalies, but specifically to bMaJuH for keeping their team in the game when he needed to the most. What a heck of a performance by that goalie and by the defense, not only in Rimpe, but in Julius, to just stand tall and really be in the lanes to block those shots. Those shots were coming in from Granit excessively, but it didn't seem to matter at the end of the day as we see more scorelines come in because they were blocking those shots before they could even get to the goalie. So no opportunities there for a shot chance.
Yeah, and that's the big thing. And you mentioned how YMCA may be seen as a little bit of an underdog coming in this game because you see the shot differential and the time on attack differences. But the thing is that you looked at Granit's shot differential and it was a plus 23. And obviously, as much as you have to be able to take shots to have that go up, you have to be able to not allow them to. And YMCA in those 2 games really didn't allow Granit to get a ton of shots on net. They really forced them to kind of stay stagnant. YMCA actually outshot Granit by a singular shot in Game 3, and it was 7-7 in shots in Game 2. So the shot differential pretty even in those 3 games, and I think you have to credit YMCA for matching the game of Granit. They actually outshot them in Game 1 as well, now that we're looking at it. So the thing that we thought would go to YMCA's lesser benefit ended up come in clutch for them. They did not give Granit the opportunities, and they capitalized on theirs. Big saves from Benna and net. Well-deserved win for YMCA, and they go 3-0.
They go 3-0, which is a big thing. We talked about it in the pre-show. Getting those buys, getting into the playoffs, and going higher seed to avoid some of those dangerous Cinderella stories that are in the middle of the pack that can surprise you. If you can avoid that, you can set yourself up for a big chance here in this Caps Gaming Showcase, presented to you by Leidos and powered by Leaguegaming. For the matinee showing for those stateside, that's going to do it. But, Brandon, we have a Goliath, colossal, mega matchup here tonight, don't we, coming up at 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
Let me just say, for anyone thinking about, well, you know, I got things to do tonight. There's football on, family in town, Christmas presents to wrap. Let me tell you, you do not want to miss this matchup. These are going to be two of the best teams that esports has to offer. History, names, pedigree, anything you can mention between these two sides, I promise you it will be a must-see show tonight. You will not regret seeing the one tonight. That's going to be an exciting one. And EU's presented us some good action, Nick. Last week with Frölunda and IQ going to 3 games. This week with YMCA and, excuse me, I had a little bit of a malfunction there. And Granit. Lots of good matchups, Nick. And tonight, no different. Going to be exciting.
Absolutely. For the EU, it's almost like the Yankees Red Sox for them is Phila, now Frölunda versus H-Reds, or Havu versus H-Reds. The Yankees Red Sox of North American NHL Esports is hands down Composure versus Entourage. And we are going to see those two beasts hit the ice tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time right here on twitch.tv/Capitals. So that's going to do it for us here. For myself, for Brandon, for Lime, for the whole Leaguegaming staff, for our presenting partner with Leidos, and of course for Caps Gaming, my name is Nick DeMeo, aka F5 Penguin. It has been an honor to be with you for another week here of great EU action. I look forward to seeing you all in just mere hours at 9 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. Stay safe, stay healthy, and for the EU side, we'll see you in 2022. For the North American side, we'll see you at 9 p.m. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye for now.